was on AIM every day like, what's up, you guys? I named my hermit crabs Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. And that's not a fucking joke. I had hermit crabs when I was like 11. I named them Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. For why? I don't know. Because I went to Disney World too many times and I got my brain scrambled on the rock and roller coaster.
Dude, where are you? Pick up your phone. I'm going to a summer party tonight and you're obviously invited, so call me back. Okay, love you.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the weekly summer party for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drosbeck, who's in kitty heaven right now. Did you guys just hear that noise? What was that? Bewildered. You better not be making a mess over there, bunny. I really can't see what you're doing. My newest foster kitten, he's not really new. I've had him for 2 to 3 weeks now. He is a hoot. All right. His name is Bewildered. And he has been running around this apartment like mad these days. He and Mango have met. They're buddies. They've been really getting along. It's quite sweet to watch Mango play with him. But sometimes he out crazies her and she just wants to sit here. And I feel like sometimes Mango will look at me and be like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Like, she looks to me like there's no way this is happening. She's such a diva and I love her. But Bewildered is knocking over some of my stuff and biting everything that he can get his paws on. He's going to fight the plastic tree right now. Dude, it's nothing. What are you doing? How about we relax? Why don't you come here and relax with me, huh? Hey, mister. He's not listening to me. He doesn't give a fuck. Now he's going to tear up my couch too. Whatever. That's fine. I don't care. Bewildered. Fuck. This is what you sign up for. This is what I'm okay with. I've accepted it. He is so cute, so sweet. We're preparing him for adoption right now. So he won't be with me for much longer. Hopefully he'll go to his forever home, as he should. And until then, he'll be creating havoc in my living room, which maybe that's a fitting vibe for this week. Oh my God. You guys, I'm so excited to tell you about everything. Mayhem release week. What? I'm so excited to talk about this. Mayhem release week. The vibes have been so good, you guys. First of all, before I even get into talking about Mayhem as an album and all of my thoughts on the music itself, I need to tell you about the best thing that fucking happened to me on my birthday. Starting 28 off on such a good note. All right. I went to the spa all day, came home, was playing my little iPhone games. Okay. Recently, I've graduated from 2048 and now I'm playing a game called Nut Sort. Bear with me. Nut Sort. It's a game where you are sorting nuts based on colors and you have to move them from different bolts. But you can only move them onto a different bolt where the nut is the same color. It's like a strategy organization game. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. My brain is broken. That shit's fun as hell. So I lay in bed. I'm hitting a little nut sort. I'm having a great time. I go and check my emails right before my eyes are about to flicker shut. And I see an email in which the title is Lady Gaga SNL. And I see that. And I say, now what is that? Now what could possibly be going on there? That's kind of crazy to read those words in my email inbox. Cuckoo bonks, some would say. Some have said. So I click and I open it, terrified of what's on the other end. And I discover that it is a lover girl that works at SNL asking me if I would like tickets to go see Lady Gaga. She hosted, double duty, hosted and musical guest that weekend. I was losing my mind. I was like, is this real? Or is someone punking me? Because if it was a punk, that was the meanest shit that anyone could have ever done to me. Turns out 100% real. I went and got to see Lady Gaga on SNL. How crazy is that? I couldn't believe it. this is like one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me in my whole life, especially in the 10 years that I've lived in New York. This is like one of the coolest experiences ever. Number one, I've never been to SNL before. And honestly, I just accepted that I probably never would. In my head, I was like, it is so hard to get tickets to SNL. Like, you enter the lottery and maybe you get selected for it, maybe you don't. So many people enter that lottery. So like, what are the odds? And if you're not going to do the lottery, you have to do the standby line, and people literally camp out for SNL for days. So I'm like, when am I ever going to do that? Like, I've got a job. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably not going to camp out for several days. Odds of me winning the SNL lottery are pretty slim. If there was ever going to be an opportunity for me to go to SNL, it was going to be something like this. Something where the stars just fucking aligned. Someone somewhere was looking out for me and said, you know what? Maddie would love this. And Maddie did love it. Maddie loved it more than she's ever loved anything in her whole life. Oh my God. So not only was it incredible to see Miss Lady Gaga host SNL, it was also just so cool to see SNL and to see like the behind the scenes of it all, the moving parts of it all. I was so impressed by what a like tight operation they have going over there. It's also impressive to me how much they're able to do in such a small space. I always envisioned the SNL studios to be much bigger than they actually are. That bitch is small. And like, because obviously they have the main stage where the host comes out and the band is playing. And then I don't know if this is for every show, but I'll tell you what was there for the Gaga show. So we had that stage, which was in the dead center, which is where our seats were. Our seats were in front of that stage up on the risers. To the left of that stage is another stage, and this is where Gaga performed Abracadabra and Killa. That's there. And then to the right of the main stage was where they had the green screen. They had like the restaurant set up for the sketch that Gaga and Bowen did. They did some other sketch over there too. And then on the other side, they had the Friendlies set and the apartment set and the funeral office set, but all of those sets were like on top of each other, and like the green screen was on top of the restaurant set, and the other set that they had going there for the last sketch about No More Slay, that was also on the other side with the green screen and all that. All of these sets are fucking on top of each other, and this is what you don't realize, is that when they're moving and they know, okay, we have to do the next sketch on this stage on the right side, everything else that's in that area has to be moved over. So literally everywhere around where the sketch is happening is like full of shit. Not in like a bad way, but it's just like they have to move all the other set pieces, everything else out of the way. And you maybe think in your brain that there's more space for that shit to be put. There isn't. There's actually very minimal space for them to move anything. So really, you'd be impressed how much they squeeze in that space and how much has to be moved around and sort of where everything is sitting just immediately off camera when you're watching the show. Weekend Update happens on the main stage. They put a backdrop out in front of it. The opening political bit they did with Mike Myers also happened on the main stage with just a wall put in front of it. It was so cool getting to see all of the different moving parts and getting to see them like usher Gaga between each sketch. It was so fucking cool. And also, I felt like there were parts of the show that the audience at home doesn't get to see, but that the audience in studio is actively laughing at. Like, for example, in the motorized suitcase sketch, you had the apartment set up all the way on the far left, and the green screen where they're on the highway is all the way on the far right. So when Gaga's character leaves the apartment in the suitcase sketch, and she like rides her motorized suitcase down to the highway. Gaga actually rode the motorized suitcase all the way from this left stage to the right stage, and people in the studio are laughing because it's like, well, that's so funny because none of this is on camera, and Gaga's just like moving herself from stage left to stage right on this little suitcase. So then you're hearing all those laughs, and the people at home are hearing the laughs, but they're not seeing what they're actually laughing at. And then I was in my head like, how many SNL sketches do you think that like the people at home are hearing the audience laugh at, being like, what is fucking funny to these people? Like, that wasn't funny. That joke bombed. So anyways, it was just really cool getting to see the behind the scenes of it all. I've been to a taping of Seth Meyers, but that's not live. So like I've been to a taping at 30 Rock before, but it's just like nothing like SNL. SNL was a whole different beast. And it was so fucking cool. Truly like a once in a lifetime thing, especially to get to see Gaga do it. And not only to get to see Gaga do it on double duty, but to get to see her opening weekend of a new album and to be the first people to get to witness her perform Abracadabra and Killa live. That is an honor I will take with me to my grave. I'm not kidding. That is so special to me to be witness to Gaga lore in real time, right? Like to get to be the first people that heard Abracadabra and Killa performed in front of an audience. That's so fucking awesome to me. That is so fucking awesome to me. It is such an honor. I can't get over it. It's the thing I'm thinking about the most in the days that have followed getting to bear witness to all of this. And she was phenomenal. Obviously, I loved seeing Abracadabra because the choreography, getting to see that choreography live, I was going to lose my mind. I can't wrap my head around, first of all, Lady Gaga is such an athlete, and I feel like she's not given enough flowers for the kind of breath control she has, the level with which she is able to dance and sing and project and do the whole fucking performance at the same time. It is such a feat. Pop stars are fucking incredible, and Miss Lady Gaga, you are the best of them. I was losing my mind. And then Killa, which my prediction was that she was going to do Abracadabra and then one new song off the album. I was hoping for Perfect Celebrity. I felt like she was going to do Garden of Eden. She does Killa, totally separate direction. I was stoked on it. Loved that choice. And when she started banging on those drums and she started doing her weird girl shit and going full rock star Gaga on us, I was ready to scream. I was pulling my hair out. When Gaga takes the mic and starts screaming in Killa, it was like a baptism. I ascended planes. I started astral projecting. Like, I haven't returned back to my human form since. I need you to understand this. And I'm not begging for help. I want to remain here. I was in another dimension. I love how passionate Gaga is and how it just permeates through every creative decision she makes. I love how much of her she pours into her music and her performances and everything. I just think that she is and always has done something that the other girls are not. So getting to witness Abracadabra and Killa live was life-altering to me, deeply and truly. And then after SNL, we actually got invited to the after party as well, which shout out to fucking Peyton. Peyton, Lover Girl of the Year award goes to you. I'm calling it now. Peyton, Lover Girl of the Year. That's it. No end of year Lover Girl award needed. Peyton just won the title right now in March. Whoa. Crazy. Way ahead of schedule. But Peyton got us on the list for the after party too. And so this was crazy. We walk over to where the after party is, and there are barricades of fans and paparazzi waiting outside the door of this after party place because they all know that Gaga is coming and they got their vinyls ready. And we started walking closer up to it, and my friend August was with me, and I was like, are we supposed to walk through that? In my head, I was like, that's crazy. That is bananas. It was like, I had a moment where I was like, I know I'm supposed to be here. Like, I know I'm on that list. And also, it feels like I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm supposed to walk through that. I don't think I am. I think I'm supposed to be behind the barricade. And so we walked through, names on the list. We walk up there. We got a drink and just like people watched during this after party, which was bananas, cuckoo bonks crazy. It was so weird to just see the entire cast of SNL, Lorne Michaels, random other celebrities that were here at the Gaga after party. Gaga and Michael were there. I didn't see them with my own two eyes. This was like, imagine the size of like a bar / restaurant. So that's how big this place was. It really wasn't that big, but people were packed in there like sardines. So I didn't see everybody that was there, but the people watching that we did get in, I was like, this is crazy town. This is crazy town. Mick Jagger was there. What? What do you mean? And this was the night of daylight savings also. So SNL ended at 1 a.m. We got to the after party at 1:30. And then I'm texting Robbie and he's like, how long do you think you're going to stay? And I'm like, oh, probably till 3 a.m. I'm sending this at 2. Little do I know that when the clock strikes 2, it actually becomes 3. So we had been there for a half hour and all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. And I'm like, fuck, well, we have to just stay. We have to continue being here. But I never stay out that late. I didn't get home till 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Oh my God. It was so cool. It was like, I have no other words for it other than this was some of the coolest shit that has literally ever happened to me in my whole life. To be a part of Gaga lore, to get to experience and watch SNL happen live, and to be invited to the after party with all the cast and crew and just people watch like nobody has ever people watched before. It was fucking awesome. It was so cool. Sincerely, just like one of the most memorable things that has happened to me in my whole life. So that happened. Incredible. Huge way to start 28. And just the fact that Mayhem got released this week as well. Freshly into 28, I am gifted personally with a new Lady Gaga album. Like, what could be better? What could be better, you guys? So, Mayhem. When I was listening to Mayhem for the first time, I just found myself continuously standing up in my chair, pacing around my apartment, like, oh my God. I was like, I couldn't contain myself. Off first listen, Perfect Celebrity was my favorite. Perfect Celebrity still is my favorite. Perfect Celebrity is, in my opinion, the best song on the album. I'll tell you my order, actually. This is after about a week of listening to the album. Granted, I like every single song, so don't take the ones at the bottom as being ones that I don't like. This is simply my ranking of all of them. Number 1, Perfect Celebrity. Number 2, Abracadabra. Number 3, Garden of Eden. 4, Zombie Boy. 5, Disease. 6, Shadow of a Man. 7, Vanish Into You. 8, Killa. 9, Love Drug. 10, Blade of Grass. 11, Die With a Smile. 12, Don't Call Tonight. 13, How Bad Do You Want Me. 14, The Beast. Numbers 1 through 9 I have been listening to on repeat. 10 through 14 I need to spend some more time with. They're not the ones that are like my immediate favorites off the album. Perfect Celebrity, Garden of Eden, Zombie Boy, Shadow of a Man. Those ones, I listened to them and I started hyperventilating. I was like, holy fuck, I'm going to bash my head in with this fucking microphone. What do you mean? This genre warping, dark pop fucking masterpiece, Lady Gaga, I would do anything for you. I would walk to the ends of the earth for you, okay? For your happiness, I would do absolutely anything, Lady Gaga, okay? And I feel like this album, you can really tell that it comes from a place of happiness and that she's doing much better than she was during Art Pop, during Joanne, even Chromatica. To see her fiance, Michael, credited as a writer on so many of the tracks on this album fills my heart. Like imagining her just being in love and feeling truly safe and wrapped up by this person who really believes in her. This like, you know, relative normie. He's not really a normie, he's rich, but you know, normie in the sense of like, he's not super flashy. He's not this mega celebrity. He's like a pretty normal dude, all things considered. Seeing someone like that just fucking get her and support her and allow her to dig into darker parts of herself safely in a way that doesn't tear her up inside. Like that is beautiful and gorgeous. And it has created something beautiful and gorgeous. And I love it. This is without a doubt my favorite album since Art Pop. We'll see after like months of listening where it actually ends up in my ranking. But like off first listen, this shit surpassed everything except Art Pop and Born This Way to me. My top 2 albums are Art Pop and Born This Way. Mayhem could pass both of them, could pass one of them. I don't know. All I know is it's top 3 for me. Mayhem is my favorite album since Art Pop. Top 3 of all time. No questions. It is phenomenal. She gave us exactly what she told us she was going to give us. And I love seeing her explore so many different sounds and just play with the mayhem of it all. Obviously, I love and lean towards rock Gaga, Perfect Celebrity, 9 Inch Nails Gaga. Loving that. Need so much more of that, personally. And I was watching Anthony Fantano's review of Mayhem, and when he was listening to Killa, he was like, this sounds like Prince on crack. And I was like, what a compliment. What an absolute compliment to listen to Killa and be like, this is like Prince on crack. The production is mind-blowing. It's fucking incredible. And the whole thing just feels like a real like embrace of where she's been, of her legacy, and like an exploration of similar themes, but now through the lens of like having the kind of safety and comfort and love in your life to allow you to explore the dark parts of yourself without losing yourself in the process. I love that. I feel like you can really feel that on this album, and I just couldn't be happier for her and prouder of her. She is my whole world. There are few things in this world that I love the way I love Lady Gaga. I love Mango like that. I love Lady Gaga like that. I love YouTube like that. That might be it. I don't know. All of that to say, if you haven't listened to Mayhem yet, you fucking have to. First of all, how dare you listen to this podcast? Second of all, go listen to Mayhem. Go stream. Support my girl, my queen, my savior, Lady Gaga. There would be no me without her. Never forget that. Never forget that, okay? Go stream Mayhem. It is your civic duty. Do what's right. I trust you to do the right thing. When was the last time that you needed to go to the doctors but just kept putting it off? You say you're too busy, it'll heal on its own, you don't know which doctor to go to, it's all so overwhelming, you just don't want to think about it, so you put it out of your mind and put off going to see the doctor that you desperately need to go see. We've all done it, we've all been there. Booking a doctor's appointment can sometimes feel really daunting, but thanks to ZocDoc, there is no reason to delay. They make it super easy to find and book a doctor that is perfect for you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. Yeah, did you know that, Mango? We're talking about booking in-network appointments with over 100,000 doctors across every specialty. From mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care to dermatology, you name it, they've got doctors waiting for you over on ZocDoc. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, and are a good fit for any medical need that you may have. Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings. Thank you, Mango. Choose a time slot that works for you and click to instantly book an appointment. And appointments made through ZocDoc typically happen fast, usually within 24 to 72 hours of booking. And in some cases, you may even be able to score same-day appointments. I personally use ZocDoc to find my dermatologist when I first moved to New York City. And it made the whole process super easy. I literally searched and found a doctor that same day. I was in their office 2 days later. Beautiful. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and head to ZocDoc.com/emotionallyonline to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/emotionallyonline. ZocDoc.com/emotionallyonline. All right, we all know about Subway Takes, right? This Instagram account, TikTok account. They sit down with people on the subway, basically ask them for a hot take. Kareem, the host, either 100% agrees or 100% disagrees and asks them for their reasoning for, why their take is what it is. I saw a take this week that I personally 100% agreed with. And I thought this person was honestly so brave for saying it out loud, that their bravery and courage has inspired me to say something out loud, to share a bit of my own lore with you. That maybe I feel like maybe if it comes from my mouth, that I actually might be able to sell this because I'm not sure that any of you would perceive me like this, which I think is going to be huge for my argument, okay? The video that I saw on Subway Takes, the take was that Disney World is for adults too. Okay? Hold your horses. Hold your fucking horses, people, okay? Because I have some words to share in defense of Disney adults. I know. I fucking know. And you might be shocked to learn that I am also someone who has found myself at Disney World multiple times in my life, over 10 times in my life, maybe even over 20 times in my life. I don't know how many times I've been there. I just know I've been there a lot, that we went there every year growing up. That was our only family vacation that we took, was to go to Disney World. I didn't leave the country until I was fucking like 19. Okay. I have a deep love of Disney in my heart because of how important it was to me as a child. I think that we as a people largely accept nostalgia as being a motivating factor in why we like things. But for whatever reason, when it comes to Disney, people get real weird about it. And suddenly they don't give a fuck that you love going to Disney if you're an adult because of the nostalgia factor. They're just like, oh, you're a Disney adult, you're freaking weird, whatever. Okay. And how many things do you do because you're nostalgic about it? That's number one. Number two, it's an amusement park. It's an amusement park the same way as any other amusement park. Now, I understand that they're getting rid of the rock and roller coaster, but do you understand how that ride altered my brain as a 12-year-old? You need to understand that you're talking to ex-Aerosmith Queen X right now, okay? That was my AIM username. I was on AIM every day like, what's up, you guys? I named my hermit crabs Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, and that's not a fucking joke. I had hermit crabs when I was like 11. I named them Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. For why? I don't know. Because I went to Disney World too many times, and I got my brain scrambled on the rock and roller coaster. We're gonna need a stretch. Make it a super stretch. Like, sorry, I was fucking cool. I was an 11-year-old fucking with Aerosmith because Disney World made me fuck with them. All right? And that ride, if you've never been on it, you don't fucking know, okay? But that roller coaster is fucking intense. One of the best roller coasters I've ever been on, in my opinion, because how fun is it? Number one, you go from like 0 to 100 in a matter of 2 seconds. Hugely awesome. 2, you're doing a bunch of loop-de-loops in the dark listening to Love in an Elevator. Who is going to hate that? Who is going to fucking hate on that? And then you pull up to the end and there's an Aerosmith gift shop. Do you understand how much Aerosmith merch I had as a child because of the rock and roller coaster? And now I know every single Aerosmith song by heart. Now they have a lifelong fan out of me. What the hell? All because of Disney. That's fucking cool. That's fucking sick. Some of y'all that have never been to Disney think that Disney is a bunch of children's rides. The kids can't even ride half the rides in the goddamn park. All right? Splash Mountain, don't even try it. Runaway Railroad, don't even try it. Mount Everest, you can suck a fart on that one, brother. You're not getting on. All right? You try to take a child on Dinosaur, they're coming back traumatized. Like, Some of the park is for children, all right? The Winnie the Pooh ride, the Peter Pan ride, the ones where you just sit in a cart and look around at things, fine. The kids can have those ones. But so much of the rest of the park is not for them. It is for teenagers at the youngest, adults at best. So what the hell are we talking about? And number 3, and this was a point that they cited in the Subway take, which is that what child do you know has enough money to go to Disney? Who? What child can afford that? Unless they have been unfairly put to work on youtube.com by their parents. What child can afford to go to Disney World? All right? Their parents are paying. The adults are paying. And therefore, Disney World is for adults too. Also, they wouldn't supply Epcot with that much alcohol if it wasn't for adults. Drinking around the world, brother. I'm about to have 3 margaritas and then hit fast track. All right? Actually, make it 4 margaritas and then I'm going on Mission Space. All right? And I'm going on the hard line. I'm going on the scary line. We're taking off the guardrails. We're going cuckoo bananas. Right? And I don't care that the lines are long. I really don't care because half the fun is getting to experience how cool the inside of the lines are. That's something that Disney does great, right? A lot of amusement parks are just boring, just waiting in a queue. No, Disney's lines, oftentimes, they're pretty cool. They've got a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of things going on, a lot of like immersion into the world of whatever Disney related movie or show or character that the ride is about. It's kind of sick, actually. It's nice to be immersed in things. And also, I kind of enjoy just waiting in line and getting to talk to the people I'm with and just enjoy the whole theme park experience. I like theme parks. I like going to parks. I like roller coasters. I like thrill rides. I like Tower of Terror. I like non-thrill rides. I like rides that are just pretty to look at, that are like cool. I like looking at the animatronics. I do. I think it's awesome. I'm like, who made this? That's pretty cool. I come from Disney, people, okay? My siblings live in LA. They go to Disneyland all the goddamn time. So I have been there a few times as well when I go to visit them. But Disney World is really where my family went as a kid. Now, the first thing that people say in response to this shit, and Kareem did it in the video too, is to be like, if you have to choose between Disney World and Paris, who the fuck is picking Disney World? And here's the thing, you don't have to pick. ¿Por qué no los dos, you idiot? Why can't we have both? Why can't we do both? Why can't we enjoy both? Have I ever made you pick between Six Flags in Paris? Have I ever made you pick between Funtown, Splashtown, USA and Paris? Like, it's a stupid comparison. Granted, Disney World is expensive as fuck, so I don't know how many people are taking multiple vacations a year if Disney World is one of them. However, I can do Disney World and then also do Paris in a year, in 2 years. I don't know. Why can I not enjoy all of the fruits that life has to offer me? Now, that's not to say that there aren't some real freaks walking around, but I think there are real freaks walking around everywhere, right? There are real weirdos within every interest or niche. So yeah, I think there are some Disney adults who take it a step beyond my liking. See, the fact that I've never brought this up before, you guys would never even know that I enjoyed Disney World, that I enjoyed Disneyland, that I enjoyed Disney things. And if I went to an amusement park, I would be really normal about it. I would be aggressively normal about it. I'd be like, dude, let's hit the roller coasters because they're so much fun and awesome. Look at this picture of us in the coaster. Whoa, I'm having a great time. Like, I would be so normal. And I would be having so much fun with my Dole Whip and my 6 margaritas and my Steven Tyler and Joe Perry merch. Okay? Like, it's fun. It's just fun. And I think some of you, if you loosen up a little bit and let yourself have fun and get a little excited about it, you might actually enjoy Disney too. You might actually enjoy Disney as well. Oh, sorry, it's so bad to ride roller coasters and get drunk all day. Sorry, it's so horrible. And you get to wear the little ears and be a cutie. And just be a little dork about it, be a little cringe. I love that, like, cringe is a necessity in Disney, in the Disney properties. It's like required to match the energy and enjoy this shit. You need to be accepting of the cringe that is required of you. And we've been talking about this so much recently in like the cringe renaissance that I feel we're entering. We need to bring back cringe in a major way because life is becoming so uninteresting. Everything, culture, art, everything, uninteresting. Cringe, we need to prioritize. Disney, kind of killing it on that front. Kind of half the appeal. I think that you might have fun with it, all you Disney haters, if only you just let yourself lean in a little bit. Sorry. And like, I get it. If you don't have the nostalgia factor, if you didn't ever go to Disney as a kid, I get that you might not ever get it the way that people who went to Disney as a kid get it. Like, so much of it is nostalgia. I know that. But the thing is we accept nostalgia as being a motivating force in so many other facets of life and people's interests. Why am I not allowed to like Disney? For nostalgic reasons. So in terms of the take, Disney World is for adults too. I have to 100% agree. I have to smash the like button on that one. Disney World is for adults too. All right? Because those kids do not want to go on Dinosaur. Do you know how many kids go on Dinosaur and they just sort through all the photos at the end of the ride and it's them being permanently traumatized? Their face is purple from screaming so loud. That shit is terrifying if you're a child. That is not for kids. Mount Everest isn't even for kids. That shit is terrifying. The Yeti's coming for you and the roller coaster goes backwards in the dark because he ripped up the tracks. That is traumatizing. What the hell? That shit is not for kids. It is for adults, and this adult loves it. All right? And in my consumption of this Subway Takes video, I did consume a couple others, and I pulled some other takes that I really 100% agree with that I need to share with you. This next one, and this is going to be controversial to some of you, all right? But when I heard her say it, I was like, this is exactly what the fuck I've been saying for years, and nobody ever understands me. I felt so seen in this moment, all right? So I'm going to say it here now. These are not my words, but I do stand by them. The take was, and they said verbatim, I think naps are the most disgusting thing you can do. And I agree. Oh my God. Nap haters rise. Nap haters, now is our time to shine. First of all, when the fuck have you ever woken up from a nap and not felt worse than you did when you went down for it, okay? Naps are for babies and dead people. And cats, right? I have no business taking a nap. Anytime I have ever taken a nap, I wake up and I'm nauseous and I feel like my body is all discombobulated. I feel like a Mrs. Potato Head that's been reassembled improperly. I cannot tell you how deeply taking a nap fucks with me mentally, physically, spiritually. Everything is fucking off about me after I take a nap. If I accidentally fall asleep in the middle of the day, I'm fucked for the rest of the day. You just need to send me back to my room and tell me to go to sleep for the whole night. Just call it a day. I fall asleep at 3 p.m. Don't bother waking me up. Just let me ride it out and get a full night's sleep, because if I wake up from that nap, I will be miserable. I will be miserable until I get a full night's sleep. Napping, to me, ruins the day. Ruins the day. It's irrecoverable. Naps are disgusting. And they said, they were like verbatim, you always wake up from naps ugly, sick, and scared. And I'm like, no, dead ass. What the fuck are you guys talking about when you're like, ugh, I really am just craving a nap right now. I just love a nap right now. What the fuck are you talking about? I do not want to nap. Anytime I accidentally nap, I feel like I'm going to punch myself in the face. Because it ruins my day. And I mean that so intensely. It makes me nauseous. Like, I cannot get through the rest of the day if I nap. It is fucked up. People who enjoy naps, something is wrong. Something is wrong. You're the fucked up one, not me. Naps are stupid. Locking in now. Naps are the most disgusting thing you can do. I love it. I love this take. I love a take that you know so many people are going to disagree with. Say it loud and proud, sister. Ugly, sick, scared, period. Quivering, want nothing to do with it. That's your business, all right? And I want nothing to do with it. Leave me out of it. Naps are nasty. All right, next take is that you can't text someone hey and nothing else. I agree. And some of my friends who do this, you need to knock it off. Do not text me hey and nothing else. I'm just not going to respond anymore. If someone texts me hey and nothing else, I even think it's mean to send hey and then like type a long follow up, but then you let the hey simmer there for more than like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna, some people will send hey and they like separate all their text like hey and they're immediately typing another text. But some of you take too long to type out that text. So the hey lingers there and for 60 seconds I'm having a panic attack. Like what is going on? I'm kidding. I'm being dramatic. But you get what I'm saying? Like you need to come at me with the juice. You need to come at me with your information, with your question, with your proposal. Whatever it is, come direct. Because when you don't, it's just unnecessarily stressful. Do not text me hey and nothing else. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm not responding to that anymore. Unless you're like my mother, my grandmother, or my sister, do not text me hey and nothing else. The other thing that they said was when you text people like, oh, what are you doing on Friday? But you don't tell them why you're asking them that, which to be honest is not really a take I feel super strongly about because I don't hang out with people that I don't want to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like if one of my friends asks me like, oh, what are you doing Friday? I'm fine with that being vague because there's no one in my life, in my like close proximity that I don't actively want to hang out with all the time. I would stare at a wall and watch paint dry with my friends. Like I would do anything. I would do even shitty activities with my friends. Maybe if you were someone who had like a lot of acquaintances in your orbit, maybe you were like a part of this like really absurdly large friend group where you didn't really know a lot of people or you didn't really like some of the people, and then you're like constantly being asked to make plans with people you're not really that close with, then I would understand. But I feel like if someone's asking me to make plans, it's because we've already established a certain rapport with each other, in which case I'm sort of like, they can ask me to do anything. And also like, I do not feel bad saying no to things that I don't want to do. And maybe that's the key part of it all. Like if someone asks me to do something and I don't want to do it, I don't feel bad saying, actually, this is not really my speed. I think I'm going to take a night to myself. I need to prioritize my alone time this Friday instead. I don't feel bad doing that at all. I don't think anyone should. But also, this is the relationship I have with my friends. Like, I know that my friends wouldn't be offended if I said I needed to have a night to myself on Friday. Can we rain check? You know? None of them would be mad at me. So that plays a role here too, I guess. I understand it in theory. I just don't have any personal applications for that. So I don't care if someone asks me, what are you doing on Friday? And doesn't follow up with what the specific thing is. But I understand why a lot of other people might have an issue with that. All right, next take I saw that I liked. They said going to heaven would suck. And I like this take because I am someone who doesn't really believe in heaven or hell in like a serious way. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. I'm someone who's always felt like, who's to say? Who knows? Like, I'm open to many possibilities. You could convince me of anything, basically. I have a very moldable brain when it comes to like the afterlife and what happens after you die. I think the thing that I've always liked is just the idea that whatever happens when you die is what you believe happens after you die. So if you think there's going to be nothing, there will be nothing. If you think there's heaven and hell, there will be heaven and hell. If you think that you're going to, be a ghost that floats around the world and haunts the shit out of people, then I think that can be true too. I definitely do believe in like some kind of afterlife or higher power, higher level of existence. I don't know. I'm not religious, but I'm agnostic. Like, I still believe in a little bit of it. Obviously, I am a spiritual person, very interested in tarot and things like that. And I think the thing that makes me buy into things like that is like the idea that my family members that have passed before me could be having some type of role in protecting me and guiding me and sending me good things. I like that idea. That feels very comforting to me. So I do like the idea of when I die, there being like a window of time where I can still connect with my family members and friends that are still alive and like help guide them. But I want there to be a cap to that. You know what I mean? Like my grandfather died a couple years ago, and I always feel like or I trust that he's playing some role in protecting me and guiding me, keeping me safe, making sure the things that enter my life are really meant for me. Like there's some part of me that really does trust that he is looking over me. And I love that. And that feels really comforting to me. And also I would feel more comforted to accept the idea that that has an end date. And that, like, when I die and, like, he's not going to stay around forever, he will stay around as long as he is needed. You know what I mean? And then when all of his, like, direct relatives and friends either pass on or no longer need his guidance, then he will get to move on to his next life or this next era or whatever. I don't love the idea of just, like, being sent to a different place and having to exist there forever. And I think the idea of heaven is like, well, once you go there, you're just there. You're in heaven forever and everyone can find you. And that's just where it is. That seems like terrifying. And that's what this person was saying. We're like, heaven would suck. You're just fucking stuck there forever. Like, what the hell? And I was like, no, that's so real. Like, I like the idea of there being an afterlife, but with, like, some levels to it that you have to move on from. The same way we have to move on from this life. I want to believe that wherever we go after this, we have to move on from that too. We just don't know for why or for what yet. But I do like the idea of, like, being guided or protected by the people who came before me. And then maybe you get a new life. Maybe you're reincarnated after that point. I don't know. I do like that though. I think that's the stuff that sits the best in my body, that I feel like the most actually comforted by. I think I often feel more comforted by the idea of my family members that have passed on looking after me versus, like, a higher power. I never really loved the idea of, like, a path that had been pre-laid out for me. Like, a whole concept of God's plan I've never liked. I've always, since I was a kid, been like, what? No. He doesn't know more about me than I know about myself. I hate that. It just doesn't feel comforting to me to be like, oh, and it's all predetermined. And it's all a part of this larger plan. Even the terrible things that happen. This freak wants me to go through it. No offense, if you are real. But you know what I mean? Like... I think I've always just questioned that, and I haven't found a lot of comfort in that. I do find comfort in the idea of a higher power, but I don't find comfort in that higher power having full control over my path or my destiny. I want to believe that I am, like, fully autonomous in the decisions that I'm making and that nothing is predetermined, but that I could be receiving guidance or support, clarity, safety, protection from relatives of mine that have passed on. Does that make sense? That's kind of where my brain has always sat with all of it. I'm, like, open-minded about things existing that I can't prove or that I can't see, which I think a lot of people aren't receptive to that at all. People who are, like, totally, like, not spiritual people don't buy into any of it on any level. I'm not like that. I buy into a lot of it, actually, just not in the, like, parameters that people, you know, maybe religion is, or at least Catholicism, which is how I was raised. But not really, because when my brother transitioned, my whole family left the church, and fuck that. My family was never really that religious. We went to church, like, once a year. It just, whatever, not been a huge part of my life. I did get confirmed though and went through all, like, the Catholic schooling as a kid. Anyways, I think I like the idea of some of it. The afterlife, higher powers, believing in things we can't see or can't tangibly prove. I believe in a lot of that because it feels silly not to some level. I'm like, to believe that the only things that exist are things that we can see with our eyes or, like, tangibly prove just feels, like, silly. Of course there's more. Of course we aren't the smartest things out there. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many things that if you, told someone from the past about things that exist for us now, things that we understand now, they'd be like, that's fucking crazy. So I just feel like there's so much that we don't understand about consciousness and, Yeah, I really do buy into a lot of spiritual things because I feel like I have been directly guided and impacted by like spiritual moments that I've had in my life. I'm like, that was crazy. So I don't know, something to think about. But yeah, I do kind of agree that going to heaven would suck. That's not my favorite afterlife possibility, heaven or hell. Also, like, I just feel like the idea of labeling someone good or bad is like so, that's too black and white, and life isn't black and white. Everything requires more nuance, and it's just like, okay, then who's going to hell? How do you decide who's going to heaven or who's going to hell? Because what I would say is different than what this person would say or what that person would say. And people are like, well, it's what God says. Did you repent for your sins? But only fucking some religions believe that. Some religions are like, once you do this, you're fucked. You're going to hell, period. And I'm like, I just don't like the idea of hell. It's too like black and white. I mean, I think there's some things that we can all agree are like fucked beyond belief, right? These people that commit like heinous, like evil, unspeakable crimes. Those people can go to hell. But like for a lot of life, it's not like so black and white. You know, people aren't cold blood murderers. There's more people that are, you know, mixtures of good and bad. So where do they go? They go to heaven? They go to hell? I don't know. Do you know? Does anybody know? I just feel like if you were going to convince me that there was like a singular higher power, which I don't know that I believe in, if you were going to convince me that like there was like a singular God, a singular higher power, I don't think that higher power would have such rigid ideals on goodness and badness. I want to believe that they'd have more emotional intelligence than to sort people as being this or that. You know, like I don't want to believe that I have a higher emotional intelligence than the higher power. You know what I mean? Like, but that to me is like, if you're sorting people good or bad, I feel like that's to me like, okay, your emotional intelligence is maybe not where it needs to be. And then I start judging the higher power. Like, that's no good. I'm not buying into it now. You've lost me. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Just throwing my ideas at a wall. If you hate it, just ignore me. But this is what I think about. Because I am quite spiritual. And I believe in a lot of that. And also, I feel like maybe I believe in it in a more abstract way. And I believe in higher powers, or like probably more just like relatives that have passed on guiding me and protecting me and sending me guidance and clarity and all of that. I believe in that more than I believe in like a singular God or higher power in that sense. It also just feels better for me. Anyways, heaven. Would it suck? Would it not suck? That's what we're here to find out. All right. My Subway take, if I was going to be on the show, would be that I should be allowed to kick in the knees of people who stand inches from the baggage claim while they wait for their luggage, while blocking everyone else whose luggage has actually arrived, regardless of what age they are. I don't give a fuck if you're 90 years old. If you are standing inches from the baggage claim, I should be allowed to break your legs. Because what? You guys are so fucking annoying. If you do that and you're listening to this, this is your intervention. No longer will you be a baggage claim hog. No longer will you be the blockade between the bags and everyone else whose bags came earlier than yours did. It just seems like it should be common sense to wait a couple paces back from baggage claim until you see your luggage and then you step forward to grab it. When you guys stand right next to the conveyor belt the whole fucking time, how the fuck do you expect other people to get their luggage? How? Riddle me this. How are they going to do that? All right, guys, this feels like kindergarten level shit. Let other people get the stuff before you. Make room for other people, little Joey. Like, it seems ridiculous that you would even have to tell adults to move out of the way and wait their turn for the fucking baggage claim. That shit is so fucking annoying. So fucking annoying. Some of you are this close to getting beat up on a day-to-day basis and you don't even realize it. So with that, I'm going to actually throw it on over to the post show where I'm going to be taking you guys through a few more of my personal hot takes. So if you're interested to know more of what's going on in this beautiful mind of mine, head on over to the post show on Patreon. And if not, I will see you beautiful people in next week's episode. Also, I am planning an upcoming virtual Lover Girls movie night for anyone. Whether you are a patron or not, this is going to be available to everyone. So be sure to follow the Lover Girls HQ Instagram for more information on the virtual movie night if you'd like to watch the movie with us. Movie is being decided by the patrons. So we'll see what it ends up being. Info will be posted soon enough, and hopefully we'll get to have a little movie night, chat with each other while we watch a piece of gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful cinema. All right? Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in next week's episode. Bye.